Hi guys, hey peas, hey bad medicine. I've got a neighbor that's having a party, and y'all will probably be able to hear it. And for that, I do apologize. Come on. I'm gonna put the link in. I cannot believe these people are doing this. Hold on, guys. It's not what I need. Not what I need. Hey Clancy, you doing, baby? Clancy is going on our beer run when we are taking bitches around the block. In like a cool way. Can y'all hear that? Hey, Chihuahua Mom. Hey, Sarah. This is, I mean, can you hear? This is really not a party neighborhood. I guess it is now. I'm going to put the link in. Hey, Band of Memories. Hey, Hush. Welcome, everybody, on this Saturday night, holiday weekend. Come on, phone. My husband called. I can't tell y'all where he works. He can't come home tonight. So I get to sleep in the middle of the bed, probably with several cats. And I ain't mad at him. You got 18 pack of Bush. I'll tell you, Clancy, my husband tried the Bush, because that's the way you have to do it. The Bush peach. The peach flavored. I don't know about flavored beer, okay? Listen, I am a simple girl. I didn't try the apple beer. He got the peach, and he ended up giving it to his coworker. So that if that tells you anything. All right, put that in, and then I'm gonna pin it. I'm gonna have my Cash App going by, because if you would like to tip me, you don't have to. I don't expect it, but we need that to go into the Catherine's going to the competition theater piece fund, and that is that. You being Tammy tonight? You being Tammy? I just saw that. So that was that. Also, guys, I obviously know that Reddit is out there. But I don't generally fool with it, right? Just because it sometimes can be hard to acknowledge. It comes Glenn. It says you're not. Let me see. There you go, Clancy.
Yeah, Shannon, I don't drink that flavored stuff. I drink regular Bush or Bush Light.
That's the way God intended it to be made. That's the way it should stay.
Yeah, I don't drink that flavored shit.
No.
But yeah, Shannon, I be a tam tonight. I'm drinking Bush while acting like a white trash.
Yeah, you can call the cops and yell at them through your window or through your door.
Yeah. Hey, William, will you shut up?
She has taken down all of her content on. Let me see. Hey, Brantley, you're effing love. I'm effing love. She took down all of her content on. Let me see which one. All of her. Here's the thing that's funny now. If you were to put in and look up Spirit Finder 321, it's going to be all of Plain Jane's videos about her, because she's taken all of her content down, which is so
damn. Is she that scary?
I don't know why she's done it. That's up to her. I don't know. She took all of her community posts down on Jackboot, all the videos, and all the videos on Spirit Finder Live. She does still have some community posts, but well, Brantley, if you want to hit the link that's pinned, you don't have to know anything about it, but you lived around there during this. So I would love to have your input on that because this is such an odd case. This is such an odd circumstance that does not make sense from the get-go. Maybe so, Hush. Maybe that could be. Maybe she's cleaning it up.
But for what is tonight's real topic?
Tonight's topic?
Yeah.
What? It's a missing, this is like a mini mystery. And it's a girl named Asia Degree who in 2000, at 9 years old, got out of her bed in the early morning hours and went walking on a highway and was spotted by two different people, two different witnesses. And she had, all right, so some stuff was found in this little shed because she took off running when one of the people turned around to help her. Then a year later, a book bag was found 30 miles away. It's very odd. It doesn't make any sense.
I learned my lesson about walking on the highway when it damn near killed me.
Well, I see with that, I'm thinking you're in the NC2. Well, if y'all listen, y'all hit the link. You don't have to show. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense when I start to explain it. And there's not a whole lot of stuff out there on it. It's been 23 years. She would have celebrated her 33rd birthday. Were she still here? Or where,
Yeah. She is most likely dead. I hate to say it, but she is most likely dead.
Yeah. Her mother refuses to believe it. And I guess if I was her mother, I would refuse to believe it too.
Oh, yeah. A parent, they're not going to want to believe their kid is dead. But if it's been almost like 3 decades, your kid is dead. Yeah, it is what it is.
It's just, like I said, it's an odd case. Mama couldn't believe it's just odd. It's so odd.
I hate to make it sound like that, Shannon, but that's just how I feel. It's true.
You and I can sit here and go, listen, she's dead. All right. A mother is not going to believe it. The mother even said, and I don't blame her, if they come to me and it's 99.98 that it's her, I won't believe it until it's 99.9. So she is straight up in, nobody's ever been found. Nobody. And all right, so I'm going to get into this. Let's just jump into this. Clancy going to be my co-host tonight. I'm always scared I'm going to cover my mic. I don't know where my mic is on the laptop, so I try not to cover top. There have been cases. Absolutely, there have been cases of it. There have been. So, I mean, and like I said, if I was the mother, I wouldn't believe it either. It wouldn't even be in the realm of possibility. But the Reddit, I got on Reddit, y'all, and then I got down. Listen, don't go to Reddit. Don't go to Reddit because there were things that I looked up that I couldn't find, like name. Hey, Earth, I couldn't find names of the witnesses. I couldn't find stuff. But if you go to Reddit, you can find anything. So I was upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
I was upstairs. I don't have notebooks upstairs, so I have the envelopes. Remember the Murdoch case? I did the same thing. Then I finally took a piece of paper upstairs, and there it is. But that's all I got. Okay. Oh, are you painting a photo, or a picture, or are you painting a wall, or both? I feel like she could have been picked up and taken to traffic. Yeah. No, that's a possibility. That's a possibility. There are so many possibilities out there because I even got some questions kind of like you do in a book club where I have some of them jotted down that we can discuss after I go through her last days, basically, that we know of. So I'm going to get it started. So we're going to do a little background. Asia was in the 4th grade. She was 9 years old. She was very smart. She excelled in math. She excelled in science. She was a very good athlete. She played point guard for her school team. Mother, father, brother in the family. Some people said that they lived in an apartment, and others say it's a small house. So I'll just go with the small house. So she and her brother shared a room. So on the she wanted to study science at Winston-Salem University, but she also wanted to be an author and an illustrator, which that's what a 9-year-old does. A 9-year-old, when you're at 9, you can be anything you want, and that's what she wanted to do. Her parents did not allow her and her brother to watch a lot of television, and they did not own a computer. The parents, because every time they turned on the news, a child was being groomed online, so they just didn't have a computer, which is it's not odd to me. It was 2000, so a lot of people couldn't afford them back then. A PC was a lot of money. Hey, have paint. So they just chose not to have a computer. This is going to be important. Asia was scared of storms, the dark, strangers, and dogs. Those were the 4 things that she was scared of. That's going to figure in here in a minute. Making sure I got all my things. How much my brother wanted to study science. Yeah, I got it all. So February 11th. February 11th was a Friday, and the children were off from school. So because Asia's parents worked, her and her brother stayed with their aunt on the 11th. On the 12th, Saturday, the 12th, February 12th, Asia and her brother had their very first basketball games at the school. So Asia fouled out 3 minutes left in her game, and her team lost by 1 point. And they were inconsolable, all of them. All the little girls were crying and whatnot. They got some not Halloween shit. Valentine's Day was obviously on Monday, so they got some candy from their coach, little bags. And by the time her brother played the second game of the day, they were fine, or Asia was fine. Hold on. Y'all know my notes. I gotta read my notes. I usually don't. Okay, she was fine. Okay, so Saturday night, Asia spent the night with her cousin. And they watched TV really late, till really, really late, and they went to bed. The next morning, parents picked her up. They all went to church. The whole family, went to the same church. So they went to church. They came home, left church, had dinner at another cousin's house, and then came home. Asia's father went to work his second job. I want to say around 1 or 2, but I don't know. And y'all hear that shit? Anyway, so the grandmother also gave Asia and all the children some candy. Her mother, Aquila, they brought her home. She wanted the children to have a bath before, school the next day. Now, it's reported that a car accident, knocked the power out at 9 o'clock. But this is where all these times it shifts. Hey, Rain Girl. All these times shift. Some people said it went out at 9, the power. But Asia and her brother were put to bed at 8 because the power wasn't out. So obviously it wasn't 9 when it went out. It was earlier than that. not really a big point, but it's just one of those things where if you read one article, you see it one time. If you read another article, you see another time. So anyway, her dad came home. The power came back on at 12:30, right about the time her dad came home from his second job. He went in and he checked on the children. They were there. They were asleep. They were happy. He watched TV. Here's two things of this too. One account is that he watched TV until 2:30. Another account is that he went back out and went to get Valentine's Day candy and whatnot, because Valentine's Day was him and his wife's anniversary. So that's two different stories. I don't know which one is right, because every time I watched that interview with her parents, her father never said a word. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. The mom did all the talking. So he went out and got candy, or he watched TV. But the last time he checked on the children was at 2:00, 2:30 in the night. So let me turn it over. It was raining very heavily. They had thunderstorms most of the day, and it was raining like hell and thunderstorms outside. You remember what she was scared of? Okay. So her mother woke up at 4:45. Hey, Aaron, there's different timestamps from that as well. But I went to the Jet magazine interview that they did with Asia's parents, and only a small portion of that interview was actually like what happened, the timeline from the mom. The rest of it was how it was really undercovered and whatnot, because Asia was a child of color. And I will agree wholeheartedly with her mother that that is a problem. It still is a problem. So she gets up at 4:45, according to her, to wake the children up so they could get their baths that they didn't get the night before. So she goes into their room because, like I told you, Asia and her brother O'Brien slept in the same room. She went in there around like 6:30, somewhere in that area. She woke them. O'Brien got right up, looked over. Asia's not in her bed. So Asia used to sometimes she would sleep beside O'Brien's bed. They were a year apart. They were really close. Sometimes she would sleep beside his bed if she got up. They looked everywhere. They looked in the cars. They looked everywhere. Her grandmother lived across the street. They called the grandmother. They called all the aunts and uncles. Is she there? Is she there? No. So at 6:30, Aquila calls the police department. By 6:40, she has, I don't know how many cops there, plus bloodhounds. All right. They did not play around with this. So they do a search. Here's the odd part. The bloodhounds don't pick up anything. Nothing. And that could be affected by the very heavy rain. But even very heavy rain, I went and looked at, what a bloodhound can do. The only thing that would really, really affect their ability to smell something if you had wind and heavy rain. I mean, heavy rain and wind, a lot of wind. Y'all hear that shit? That ain't going to work. Anyway, sorry. So family members searched, police searched, the church, people from the church searched. Everybody came to search. Nothing. They found, hey, Steve, yo. They found nothing. So they find out later on when this becomes, on the news, that a motorist hold on, I've got different times here too, 3:30 in the morning, saw a child. No, I'm wrong. Take it back. 3:30, a truck driver and his son were coming down Highway 18. Hey, Freeside. Highway 18 is, you know what? Highway 18 was right near her house. It was a pretty well-traveled highway. So he says this guy, his name, I only found out his name after this, after Blanton Sr. and Blanton Jr. were doing a run from Shelby, North Carolina, where she lived, to High Point, which took about 2 hours, I think. At 3:30, they saw what they thought was a woman walking on the side of the road, Highway 18, in a nightgown or in a dress. But they didn't call the police. Hey, Tennessee Poppy. At 4 a.m., another motorist saw a child on Highway 18, a mile away from her house. And when he turned around to go back and check on her, she ran into the woods. And for whatever reasons, I don't know if he called the police after that. I know that Mr. Blanton got on the CB and was warning truck drivers going on Highway 18 about the woman walking up the side of the road. This is where it gets very odd. So when they get that information, they take the bloodhounds and they cannot pick up a scent. Asia, there was no scent. They couldn't pick anything up. There was a family on Highway 18 that had an upholstery shop. And on their property, they had a shed where they kept, I guess, the furniture that they were going to reupholster. And on Monday or Tuesday, they took a tractor down there to get a piece of furniture out, and they found in this shed candy wrappers, a hair bow, a Mickey Mouse hair bow, a photograph of a child, and a Atlanta Olympics pencil. They've been there. The Olympics were in 1996.
Okay, so, Shannon, I'm back.
Okay, baby. So the police go and collect it, and they show it to the family, and the family says, that's absolutely her, but we have never seen this picture before. And I'm going to show you the picture now. I'm going to pull up the picture now. I did not get the my photos in order like I usually do. This is the second time I ain't done it. Let me see. Let's do this. So this child's photo has been everywhere, right? And no one to this day knows who this child is. So I'm going to.
How long has this child been missing, Shannon?
February 14th, 2000.
Oh shit! I was a little kid then.
Yeah.
Holy fuck!
Right. So here's the picture. No one's ever been able to identify this child. Why did Asia have this child's photograph? If this was Asia's stuff, her parents said that's absolutely her hair clip. That's absolutely a pencil that she had. That's the same wrappers of candy that she got at her basketball game. And then this picture. So they bring the bloodhounds to the shed. The bloodhound picks up nothing. Again, nothing. So we go. So we have two eyewitnesses that saw her on Highway 18. One of them said she had a white dress on. She went to bed in a white nightgown with red trim and a teddy bear on it, though. Then the first guy, no, she was in white jeans and a white shirt, no coat. She took no coat. And like I said, February in North Carolina, in the rain and the storms, she took no coat. All right. Then they realized that her book bag was gone. So they all came to the conclusion that Asia packed her book bag and left on her own because there was no break-in, no nothing. And that's where we stayed for a little while. We stayed there for a year, and that She packed up her suitcase and she left. Um, let me see. Hold on, let me go back. Bloodhounds weren't able. So the book bag, Asia's book bag was found 30 miles away, wrapped in plastic bags, tossed on the side of the road. The sheriff said it was obviously tossed on the side of the road. It had been there for a year. You know, uh, the man who found it was clearing a driveway. They were going to build a house. He was clearing the, from the road to do the driveway.
Yeah.
And he looked in it. All right. And it's had her name and it had her phone number in it. You know how you do with kids in their book bags?
Yeah.
Now, he called the police.
Even when I was in high school, Shannon,
Yeah.
back in like 2013, I always wrote my phone number in my stuff.
Well, that's the way they knew it was hers. Excuse me. So the sheriff comes and gets it. The FBI comes and the FBI is in on this. When they were doing these searches that night, they were doing, they did 3 miles both ways from her home. Their grid was one. They were walking in the woods 1 yard apart. The searchers 1 yard apart. There was 900 man hours, and after about 9 days, they stopped. They stopped it. I mean, what are you gonna do? But so when they looked into the book bag, this is weird. This is what's weird. Okay, so for a long time, they didn't tell anybody what was in the book bag. A little bit here and there, nothing big. And then we find out, oh, wait a minute. Okay, we're going to get it. Not a problem. Here's what was in her book bag. Now, it was jeans with a red stripe down the side, her favorite pair, a long white sleeve nylon shirt, a red vest with black trim, black overalls with Tweety Bird on them. Can you let that sink in a minute? Overalls with Tweety Bird on them. Black and white long sleeve shirt, lime green Tweety Bird purse, which they think she had money because before she disappeared, she showed some kids in her class some like dollar bills. I don't think she had, a lot of money, but that. She took black shoes. Hold on, I ain't even done. Her wallet, basketball uniform, 3 family photos. Hey, Irish gal. And
what's up, Irish gal?
Supposedly maybe a house key. Her and her brother were latchkey kids. I hate to use that term, but they did stay. They looked after themselves after school until they came home from work. Now, on the 20th anniversary of her disappearance, the FBI said, okay, listen, we got some new evidence that we did not tell anyone about. In that book bag was one book, McElgott's Pool by Dr. Seuss. There was also a New Kids on the Block t-shirt or gown, almost a sleep shirt. So they were not the child's. The mother said that's not hers. The book, however, was checked out of her school library. But the mother insisted that those 2 items were not hers. So that's it. I just ended it for you. Hey, guys, how you doing, baby? I just ended it for you. There have been people. One person in 2004 said, "Yeah, I went to school with Asia, and I saw her that night because I was doing a drug deal." Bitch, you was 9 years old. What do you mean you was doing a drug deal? You ain't doing no damn drug deal. But they went and they where he said he found her, and it was animal bones. We had another, a couple of years after that, another inmate said, I know what happened to her, and showed, told him where she was. Again, nothing. You have just heard every bit of evidence from this case. Yeah, that's it. That's all there is.
Shannon, it sounds like this girl ran off on her own accord.
But where? What makes a 9-year-old who is scared of the dark, of thunderstorms, strangers, where is she going? That's the thing. It doesn't make sense. She also was scared of, like I said, dogs. When she ran through the woods, when that person at 3:30 turned around to check, I'm sorry, 4 o'clock turned around to check on her, when she ran to that shed, those people had dogs, right? And said that those,
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. Yeah,
well,
that is kind of weird.
yeah, well, the thing is, those dogs, the owner said those dogs would have barked at anybody near that shed, anybody near their home. The dogs never barked that night.
Yeah, okay, that is kind of weird.
That is
It was just the
very
way you
weird.
described it. I was like, oh, okay. It sounds like someone that ran away on their own accord.
Yeah, but then we have to look back at there's no scent, and there should have been a scent. Even in the heavy rain, it should have been a scent. Her
Oh, yeah,
scent
because
should have been in that
dogs, they can
shed.
smell scents up to like
Right.
30 miles.
Well, I gave that the okay, heavy rain because it was cold and heavy rain, but they didn't pick her son up in the shed at all, and she should have been. She was, it's
Oh,
like this.
yeah, if that
Right,
girl was in there, those dogs would have picked up on that.
right.
Because, like I just said, dogs can pick up a scent up to like 30 miles away
That's
from where you are.
right, exactly, and it didn't. So who's lying? Is there somebody? There were, the father not, having two different stories. That, oh no, I watched TV till 2:30 in the morning. Well, I went out and get Valentine's candy, but within 48 hours, those two parents were cleared by the sheriff. They were cleared.
Then that tells you the parents most likely know what happened and they just don't want to say.
That is what. Oh, let me. Then I got into Reddit. I found out the name of these drivers. Anyway, well, let me show you this one thing. There was another piece of evidence, not really evidence though, because I don't know why they're calling it evidence. That somebody said, "Oh, we saw her getting into a green Ford LTD or um." It was hold on in the 1970s, early 70s, green, either Continental or dang, I'll show it to you here.
What?
Yeah, this was years later. Years later, they said that they saw her get into this. There they are.
How the fuck will you remember a car from the 70s that a
Well, this
girl
is
got into in like the early 2000s?
No, early 2000s. It won't even early 2000s. It was kind of like middle 2000s. They said she
Yeah.
was into a 1970, 73, something like that. And y'all can't see it, can you? Hold on. Hold the hell on. I will share my screen. Hold on. Oh, that's me.
Like, come on. Do they really expect anyone to believe that?
They actually gave it some credence, a little bit of thing.
Wow.
Here it is. I'm sorry. I usually have these things up. Nope, don't have it up right now. Damn it.
All right. I just thinking like, what the fuck, Sheen?
Yeah.
Do they really expect anyone to believe that? And this is like what, a decade later?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And a
decade later, they're expecting they're expecting us to believe this girl got into a 70s automobile in the early 2000s. Come on.
They are expecting you to believe that.
Oh my gosh.
The FBI said absolutely this is credible. All the witnesses they said were credible. They're credible. It's credible. So I mean, hell, I don't know. It's absolutely maddening. And you go
That
to
is weird. That is weird.
it is.
I feel like Ryan right now, Ryan Upchurch, trying to question
I know,
shit.
right, exactly, exactly. Hold on, I'm trying to bring this damn car up. But
But at least I'm not killing my musical career by making conspiracy
well,
theories.
there you go. There's that. There's that. There's so many of these little cases, and I don't call this a little case. The child's gone. I mean, so it's no, it's not a little case, but it's these cases that people don't cover, and that's why I always want to cover them because nobody else is. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, we
it's
got cases like that here in Texas. I have got to look up the information and send it to you, Shannon.
do it because I got. Hey, Livesty, hello, you doing, baby? How you
Yeah, we got
doing?
cases like this in Texas that go back to like the 70s.
Oh yeah, I've covered some in Texas from the early step now late 70s.
Yeah, it's
This
like we have cases here from like 71, 72.
yeah, all right, hold on.
And I was like, oh, I got to
Here's the
send
call.
Shannon
Sorry,
some of these cases because they're pretty interesting.
those are the two cars. That's the possibility of the two cars that she got into. Rust
Hey,
over
did
the
you ever
window.
look up the killing fields we had
Yes,
here in
I,
Texas, Shannon?
I did that when I did the Fort Worth trio because that's where they looked for
Yeah,
them.
I didn't even know we had that here. I was like, what
Oh yeah,
the fuck? I've never
you
heard
got a
of that.
lot. You got a lot of fuckery going on down there. Has there
I
been
was like,
anyone
what the fuck?
like you?
I have never heard of the killing fields.
Rain Girl, no. I think after the initial investigation of this and there being absolutely any lead they got was garbage and nothing new has popped up. They didn't even mention the the stuff all the stuff in the book bag until the 20th anniversary. So
What?
that yeah, they did not share the 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 new kids on the block. They didn't share that until the 20th anniversary of her disappearance.
You just made me
20
choke on
years
my
they said.
beer. Like, what the fuck?
Plus,
You would think that'd be important.
the man who found the book bag um was absolutely sworn to secrecy because he looked in it. And the cops told him, don't you ever mention what's in there. So he was like, okay, not a problem. So for 20 years, this clue was not shared. But all right,
Yeah, it's kind of like the guys that were in Vietnam. They were in the SOG teams. They went across the border into Cambodia and Laos. For a decade, they were not allowed to talk about their missions.
yeah, well, this is, the thing. Here, I'm going to share this. Hold
Yeah,
on.
I was just saying that, Shannon, because
Yeah. Where you go? Where did Clancy go? This is the new kids on the block nightgown. Now, let me tell you what something. All right, I told y'all she was one witness said she was wearing a nightgown. The nightgown she was wearing was a white sleep shirt, red trim, but had a bear on it. This is a red sleep shirt. I mean, a white sleep shirt with a red trim with New Kids on the Block. Now, was she picked up by somebody who had the other little girl? I think not. I mean, if that photo was shown of the other little girl, somebody would have said, "Hello, that is my daughter." So that is the shirt that was in there. Now, here's what I say about this. Was her book bag already packed because she spent the night with her cousin? Is that why the basketball uniform was in there because she would have had it on when she went to her aunt's house after her game? Is that why? But that's a lot of outfits. There was also, like I said, 3 family photos in her welcome back. 3 family photos in her backpack. Um,
Sorry
So
about that,
that's
Shannon. I accidentally clicked something.
that's okay. Um, so was that backpack already packed? They all, hey Rachel, they do think she packed it in ahead of time. So one of the questions that was posed over and over and over in the Reddit was, what would scare her, or what would make a child who is scared of storms and the dark, um, and quite frankly, strangers, go out at 3:30 in the morning on a rainy, stormy night with no coat, but she had thought enough to pre-pack her bag. If we believe that she did that, I do too. I do too, Betty Madison. I think a lot of that was in from the sleepover. Um, I
Was her parents going through like a divorce or
no,
something?
no,
Because
in fact, they're still together. I wonder if her cousin planned. I don't
that's
know.
the only thing that would make sense to me is like if their parents were going through a divorce
Yeah,
and
no,
like her dad was out there wanting her to go with him.
nope. They were happily married, still happily married. The cousin planned something. Okay, let me tell you what book they were reading in her fourth grade class, The Whipping Boy. Y'all have never read The Whipping Boy. I haven't, but it's about a prince who does all this shit wrong. He does everything wrong. He's a bad kid, but nobody in the kingdom can spank him. So what the king decides to do is go to the streets, pluck out some homeless orphan, bring them in, and make them the whipping boy. So that every time the prince did something bad, the whipping boy would get the whipping. All right. Pretty harsh stuff. Well, anyway, the prince and the whipping boy decide to. No, the prince wants to run away because he doesn't want to be the king. So the whipping boy doesn't want to go with him, but goes with him. So they're together out there in the kingdom or wherever, and they run across some bad guys who want to try to kidnap them, and then they meet some really great people and end up, it's so that is an adventure. Wouldn't you say that was an adventure? So people thought, well, maybe because she's reading the whipping boy, that's what inspired her to leave. Possible, I guess, but I don't
I
know if
mean,
adventure is going to.
I have heard of kids getting inspired by books like that,
Yeah,
but I'm not sure that it would make a kid really
thank you.
run away from home.
Right in the middle of the night, in the dark, in the storm that you're scared of. It does not make sense. So,
Especially when you're a kid that's
right.
scared of storms,
Yep.
that's scared of lightning, that's scared
Yeah.
of the dark.
And
You
you go
go out of
to
your house at that age at like 3 in the morning to run
yeah,
away from home.
to walk a
Yeah.
mile. A mile. Her bus went up and down Highway 18, so she knew the route. I mean, but she was over a mile away from her house when she was spotted, and the police say that these two witnesses were absolutely 100% saw what they saw. They absolutely verified it. I don't know how you would verify it, but because the Brant, what is his name? Blanton said no, I saw a woman in a dress, and then the second Jeff Rupe said no, it was a little girl in a white shirt and white jeans. So you have two very different.
You have two very different sightings.
And
One of the woman and one of the girl.
yeah, and I mean she wasn't overly tall for her age. She only weighed 60 pounds. So
Yeah.
I don't know how you can get one a woman and one a child. I don't understand that, but again, it's not me.
Exactly.
I thought,
Especially a little girl.
what if somebody ran over her accidentally and got so turned around that they decided to take her and dispose of her? Is that a
Yeah.
I thought it
That
was
is the only
very,
thing that makes sense.
yeah.
Because Because when I got hit by that car a few months ago, the driver and them, they at least stopped. But what happened to her? The guy didn't realize it was a kid until it was too
Yeah,
late. And he was
yeah.
like, oh, fuck, I just killed a
Exactly.
kid.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I could think of that somebody would do. But her scent was never found on Highway 18. So
Exactly. That's what kills that theory.
yeah, whoever the two people that saw her, who verified, even though differently, that she was in white because the mother knew from what was gone, what she probably was wearing. If you
Yeah.
were, yeah, it just doesn't. I don't understand. Another thing that they said, and the thing was, what was she running? What was going on so bad that she ran into her biggest fears in life? What was going on? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I guess her family.
Now, for someone like her to run away from home, you would have to think something like maybe sexual abuse or physical abuse.
Her mother said that she thought her dad hung the moon. She was a daddy's girl. She wasn't so much a mama's girl. You know, her mother comes off as very uh she's very controlling, very um I'm not gonna say likable. She ain't likable. And that's bad. I don't mean to say that harshly about somebody who lost a child. But you could tell my husband, when they were in interviews, did not say a word. Not a word. So that tells you she runs that house. The mother. She said that when she went in there to wake them up, she said, wake up, and that O'Brien, as usual, jumped right up. You know, like, can you imagine living like that? You jump right up because your mom says something? That was weird to me. That she said, as usual, he jumped right up. What kid, when you're waking up early, is going to jump up? Hey, very lucky lady, unless he's scared of you. And I'll tell you what O'Brien said too. He said that at 2:30, when the dad checked on him, Asia got up and went to the bathroom. She came back. All right. Then he heard her bed squeak. He was facing like the wall. He heard her bed squeak, and he figured this was at a later time. He figured she was just getting settled. So he didn't even open his eyes and like go look, like turn around and look what she was doing. So
Yeah.
at some time heard her bed squeaking. And that could possibly have her being roused up. So 2, they didn't want the children to be anywhere near the internet so they could be groomed. But where else could that have happened? Where else could Asia have had enough time on a computer? Because it takes a while, I'm assuming, to groom a child into leaving their home in the middle of the night. That would take to me a lot of grooming. And she just wasn't.
Exactly.
She didn't have a computer, more than time than not. She didn't have one. So I don't think
Because Shannon, you got to remember, this is during the days when the internet was just coming around. Nobody even knew what the internet was.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I mean, it was like
The only people that knew what the internet was like nerdy kids who did like video games.
She wasn't. She wasn't a nerdy kid. My thing is too. Again, hey, Miss Christie, why didn't you take your coat? Why did she? Did she not? Did she not think she would need it? Why wouldn't you need it? It's raining. It's cold. That you would. I don't understand. I wonder if someone used the shirt to lure her into the car. I don't know. That's the thing, very lucky lady. We don't know. She didn't have a neighbor she could run to. No. Well, her grandmother lived practically across the street from her. And she had cousins that lived up the road. So she had people there, that she could have run to. But 9 years old, I don't know. I don't know. This has kept me up at night. And this don't usually happen. Honestly, I don't usually. But she's the age of one of my grandsons, and whenever there's somewhere near my own, my wheelhouse there, it affects me more than most. And people, if you go to the Reddit, if you put in Reddit and you put in her name, people as of today are still talking regularly about this case. They have done the work. I'll tell you one thing: this Blanton Senior, the one of the truck, he ran for sheriff against. I think it was Sheriff Campbell, who was the sheriff. He ran for sheriff and lost to the sheriff that was on, was working. This makes me mad. Yeah, Rain Girl. I try to if somebody hit her with the car and took her, I would hope that they would, after all these years, it had to be absolutely bad, but just say where she is. When they did the 3-mile searches through the woods at 1 yard apart, if she'd been hurt and fallen over, or if she'd even tried, fell down and got hurt, I'm not going to say they probably would have found her, because we've all seen cases where they have walked right across a damn dead body and not picked it up, and then years later there are bones found there, and like, well, but we checked that. Well, no, you didn't check it hard enough.
Well, Shannon, we could be Bullhorn Betty and pretend we know what happened.
There you go. Well, we would know. No, this has got a $45,000 reward. It was $25,000 a long time, and then somebody kicked in another 20, so it's a $45,000 reward for any information that leads to her. Her. Let's just say her. I always thought if I accidentally found somebody, right? You know what I'm saying? And they said, "Oh, did you know there was a $45,000 reward?" I would have a hard time taking that money. That's just me. I probably would, but I would suffer with it for a while.
I know that, Shannon. If you did that, you'd be silent as a saint, and then you would have told Savage about it first.
Oh, yeah.
Before you told any of us.
Yeah. Savage and Pirate and Val, they know everything about me before it happens. So, all right, that's our case. That's all I've got. I can't talk 2 hours about this because there's not 2 hours worth of material. There's nothing. There's really everything I told you. It took me 5 minutes to tell you everything known about this case, except for on the Reddit. I did get names of like the people who found, the witnesses. I got their names. There's a big contingent of people who absolutely do think that the father had something to do with it, or the mother. Let's just say the parents. There's a large contingency of people that think Mr. Blanton and his son did something to that child. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of people on Reddit that back and forth at the oddities in this case. It's really odd. It's really odd. It's just sad. It is so sad. At 9, I got mad at my mom and ran to the end of the driveway. Well, I mean, yeah, 5 to 10 minutes. But she wasn't mad. The mother said everything was fine. Now, is that true? I think her brother is a year older, so I guess he's 34, 35 right now. And to me, and they had another daughter, I think around maybe 12 years after her disappearance. But her brother puts loving memories. They have a memory walk every Valentine's Day from the house to where there's a big, huge billboard of her face and the ransom money and the reward money.
Yeah, Shannon. It's kind of like, I can't remember the girl's name, but her husband thought she was missing for decades, and she actually turned up in the Bahamas.
Well, I don't know that case, Chihuahua Mom, but I'll look into it. I can look into it. I don't know anything about that. If I do, I don't know. I don't. The name's not ringing.
Yeah,
Oh, I know who that is. I know
I
who that is.
cannot think of her name, Shannon. If I remember it, I'll definitely send it to you. But this lady went missing in like the early to late 90s, and for years her husband looked for her, and she turned up in a nursing home in the Bahamas.
That's real weird. That's.
Yeah,
I remember that case. Chihuahua. I just got to look back into it. Hey, Sassy Sarah. I'm just
if
being.
I can remember her
Love
name,
you, baby.
I will definitely send it to you,
Send it to
Shannon.
me. I love you, Sassy Sarah. I love you. How's my aunt? How's my aunt Kathy doing? She better be doing all right. I'm not putting up with Aunt Kathy making us all worry about her. So now I've got to figure out my next mystery. And I don't know if you, in fact, we can look at the one that Chihuahua Mom did, just like a mini mystery where it's just nothing's been, there's just nothing. There's nothing.
And the craziest part is this lady, she had dementia and
Oh,
she didn't even remember how she ended up in the Bahamas.
dang, that's crazy. I guess if you're
Yeah,
gonna go,
she did not even remember leaving the country or anything. But her husband, he spent like 30 something years
oh,
looking for her. And he found out she was in the Bahamas but she didn't want to come home.
well, I mean, so, oh, Sarah, I'm sorry. Tell her don't do that. Tell her don't give us memory
I
scares.
wish
Like,
I wish I could remember that lady's name, Shannon.
it'll
I
come
would
to
tell
you.
you right now, but I cannot remember it.
It will come to you. Hold on, I got you. Y'all know after I do one of these, I got to take all the things out of my book, put them in the drawer. I need another drawer. I ran out of files too. Damn it! I ran out of files.
There's another one. It's kind of weird. I want to say it's in the 40s. I believe it's in Australia, but it's like a mysterious body found on the
Oh
beach.
yeah, every label was cut out of his clothes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
they
saw.
think he was a spy.
Yeah, I saw. I remember that one. There's a lot from the 40s. I might do some of those.
It
You
was
just gave
like
me a great idea, man.
1947. His
You just
body was
gave,
found on the beach, leaning
yeah,
against the wall, against a
yeah.
seawall. Every label from his clothes was missing. His
Clancy gave me a
fingernails were
good
like
idea.
clipped. It was weird.
We're gonna go through the. I'm gonna go through the 20s, 30s, 40s, and we'll just pick one from all that. That'd be good. He is a
I
local.
absolutely believe that guy was a spy.
Yeah, maybe so, Clancy. Who the which one the Blanton senior and Catherine almost we're done. We're almost done. Oh,
Yes, Shannon. I absolutely believe that guy was like a spy or
yeah,
something because there is no way that a regular person would have every tag removed from his
yeah.
clothes.
Made absolutely no sense. Absolutely no sense.
And to
He's
be leaning up against a seawall in Australia on a public beach, yeah, that's a spy.
every time y'all say name, I'm writing it down because I'll look into all these.
That is most definitely a spy.
Oh, sure, that's absolutely a spot.
Because what normal person would remove the tags from his suit?
Yeah. Now listen, Rain, my Rain girl, if you suggest it and you do it, then you got to come up here. I made Clancy come up here. Let me see. The Somerton man. They finally identified the Somerton. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Trisha. I like to do these little 1 hour. Oh, I do. I keep saying it. I hate to call it a mini thing because it's not. It's a child. It's a child that's gone. But these little ones that don't have to be so long that everybody has a regular chance to research, like me. Usually I read a book, so y'all don't know what I'm reading. I like to do these little ones though because y'all can go and we're the same places I do and find stuff that I might not find. So that's why I like to do these little ones. He disappeared from the Big Smoky Mountains while camping with his family. Okay, I'm in it, Sass. I'm in it, Sass. Sass. My sister's nickname was Sass. Dennis Martin. I got him up here on top. All right, guys, listen. I'm done. Clancy,
All right, I'll talk to you later, Santa.
All right, babe, love you.
All right, bye.
And thank y'all all for coming for our little mystery thing. I want to do these every week, and then every week, and then every month, maybe 2 months, month and a half, 2 months, do the real big one, a real big one that's just but I like to get these little mysteries out, and because people aren't talking about them anymore. They're just not talking about them anymore. And they should be. Oh, good. Thank you, Ray. Thank you. I like doing it. And I will pick a topic by tomorrow, and y'all can. Is my call? You think so, Rain? I don't know. Maybe so. This is what I like doing. This is what I like. I like doing this. I like doing it with a panel, though. Y'all got to come up. Just because they're so interesting. But I'm gonna go. I get my whole bed to myself tonight. I get a king size bed to myself. Guys and gals, I can't pass that up. I got to get in the middle of that, turn on my British comedies, and just love life. So thank y'all for coming. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was interesting. And I will see you next week with another one. And like I said, tomorrow I'll put the mystery out. And I'm gonna try to pick some hardwoods like this one because I like them. Have a safe night. Have a safe holiday weekend. And I love you all 23 of you. For the people that have been here and don't like to chat and what, thank you. I appreciate you. For those people who are going to watch the replay that don't usually, thank you. Hit the like button. Thank you, everybody. Hey, Dragon, I get ready to go, Dragon. You're late, lady. You're late. I will replay it. Yeah, Catherine. I hope you enjoy it. Again, love you guys, and I'll see you next Saturday night. It's going to be fun.